Is it easier to make $3,000 by going from 0 to 3,000, or is it easier to make $100,000 going from 3,000 to $100,000? So is it easier essentially to make $97,000, or is it easier to make $3,000? That's the question of today's video. That's what we're going to be answering today and discussing today. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? What do you think now before watching this? Just leave me a comment below. What do you think? Is it easier to make $3,000, or is it easier to make $100,000 in this case? The reason why I can talk about that actually is because I've done that multiple times. Multiple times I went from 0 to $100,000 in ClickFunnels, in Shopify, or in Amazon FBA. We learned over time, and when I say we, it's me and my team, over time we learned kind of what is easier and what takes the majority of time. I always compare this when starting out, I always compare this to like an engine. You have a lot of gears in that engine, and all of those gears need to be aligned for the engine to be running, right? And the engine essentially is your business, and the engine only runs when it's profitable, right? So putting a business together can be a little bit tricky, right? Because you have all of these different parts. You have the right market and the right target customer and the right audience and the right advertisement platform, if that's what you choose to use, the right advertisement platform, the right page conversion mechanism, meaning you have the right text on the page. You have essentially traffic coming to a page, and then on the page they convert to a buyer, and then they give you money, right? But you have all of these little gears and all of these little things that affect that. So I want to talk about a little bit what it actually takes to make $100,000, because your target, though it's $100,000, you need to see it differently. You need to see the target at $3,000, because when you reach $3,000, there's another jump to $100,000. So let's talk about that. 0 to $3,000, what does it actually take? Let's say you're starting a dropshipping business, you're starting on Shopify. First off, you need to find the right customer to target. Everyone always starts at the product, but that's kind of backwards, to be honest. But anyway, you need to find the right market that you want to serve, the right customer, and the right audience that you want to give products to. Then you need to make sure that the advertisement platform is right, so that you have, you need to build your store, you need to make sure that's right, you need to have the right ad platform, the right ads, and test a bunch of those, and eventually make a profit, meaning your costs of advertising, your cost of buying the products and shipping the product should not be higher than the costs or than the earnings that you actually make when the customer gives you money for the product, when you do revenue. Now that is tricky because you have so many things that come off that. And when you're just starting out, how do you know what advertisement cost you're gonna have? It's impossible to know, right? The only thing that you can kind of control is how much are you gonna pay for the product, and then also how much are you gonna sell the product for. So to go through to $3,000, this can take 6 months. And the biggest mistake people make is that they try this, they put it out, you start the ads, and then they go like, oh, it doesn't work, it's not profitable, right? Because you know your buying price, you know your selling price, you know your ad costs, right? And then people make the math and say, okay, now I had it out there for 3 days, I made a couple of sales, which is good, but the money that I made wasn't enough. And this is where most people give up, and that is why it's so hard to get to $3,000 in revenue. It is really, really, really hard, because you need to keep trying. You need to tweak things, you try a different ad, you give Facebook more time or Google more time, or you have things that you change on your page, you measure people's behavior, you see where people drop off, and you plug all the holes, right? Eventually, when you have all of those hole plugs and you can break even on $3,000 revenue, that's awesome. That's really the first goal where you want to go. Because think about that. You're shipping a product from China, you're buying a product one-on-one, and then someone gives you money for that product. Why don't they go and buy it themselves, right? So there isn't a lot of margin in that, because you have so many costs associated with it, you have so much advertisement stuff associated with it as well. So it's really, really tricky, and the problem is that most people just give up immediately. But if you keep trying, let's say 6 months, you spend a little bit money every day on your Facebook ads, or your Google ads, or whatever way you choose, and you just keep trying, you keep tweaking things, and eventually things are gonna get better if you keep doing it. So after 6 months, you might reach the $3,000. In those 3 months, you need to look at these things every day and see what you can change and see what you can improve and, you know, get better product pictures and like get everything perfect until you break even and eventually turn a profit. And that's usually at the point where you can do around $3,000 revenue that month. You're not going to have anything left from that. It's not like you can live on this 3,000. You might have, you know, if you have a little profit left, that's great. You know, if don't fool yourself here, okay? So it's tricky, but it's possible. Now, going from $3,000 to $100,000, we have someone in our coaching program, and she actually did that. She went, she took 6 months, and she actually made $5,000. Okay, and then from $5,000 to $100,000, she took 20 days. Now, why is that? Why can you do $100,000 in 20 days when it took you 6 months to do $3,000 or $5,000 or just figure out the system? It is because once the system is figured out, then the jump to scale is easier. As soon as you have a profitable business, then the jump to scale is easier, because then you can go, then you get better shipping terms. Then you can go to the supplier and say, hey, now we have bigger volume. With volume comes a better price, right? You can find someone, you can buy in bulk and have your supplier in China store that and they ship it out, for example. And your costs go down, right? Now, once your costs go down, you have a little bit more wiggle room where you actually have a profit. And then if you scale things up, you can scale them to a certain part before your ads start to become crazy expensive, right? So in that niche, we're probably looking at about $100,000. That's pretty much what we're looking at revenue before you need to do a few more things to improve profitability, right? But that's pretty much it. So this, what it takes to scale from $3,000 to $100,000, it's actually not that much. You really just need to increase your ad budgets if you have a working system. What really takes a long time and what's really tricky is to get that system work, because like I say, you have so many components and so many things that all you need to be aligned, right? So if you like to learn more about that, or if you like us to help you with that, we have a program where we guide people through. It's a high-level, one-on-one, and mixed with group coaching program and mixed with digital courses that support you. It's a full-blown program that gets you from zero to your first $10,000 in revenue. Because from then on, boom, you can start. And then you say, hey, Niels, why do you even bother in helping people doing that when you're doing well and when you're selling all these products yourself? Well, look, the goal in our business is to partner up with you. Okay, we want to partner up with people. If you do $100,000 for 3 months in a row, then we will want to become a partner in your business. Then we can take over supply chain and we can come with our expertise to bring you from a 6-figure level to a 7-figure level. This is where our main expertise is. But in order to get you there, probably you're not going to get there yourself. You know, probably you need a little bit of help. Probably you need someone who has already done it to guide you. And that's why we developed this program where we have coaches. Each coach owns their own business, right? And we all have our own experiences that we made where we can now guide you. We already know if you have two things that you want to decide on, either you want to do this or you want to do that. And we would come in and say, don't do this one, do the other one. Because we already know that it doesn't work. Even if it looks great, even if it sounds good, even if it sounds like it should work. Like we've proven these things many, many times over. We know what works. So we can help you with that. And we'd love to help you with that. Because like I say, eventually we would love to become a partner in your business. So let's get you to that 6-figure a month level. If you're interested in that, there's a link below, or just head over to easypeasycall.com or follow the link below in the description to book a free strategy session. And then we see kind of where you stand, we assess your unique situation, and we can see if we could potentially, you know, work together. And if not, well, then you just had this session and you can take home whatever you like from that session. I look forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions or if there's anything you want to know, leave me a comment below, give me a like on this video if you found a little bit of value in here, and I'll catch you tomorrow because we do videos on this channel every day. Have a good one. Cheers.